Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gents. I'm here in Aldershot. I'm at Mummy Reid's house. And tonight, I'm going to talk about comparison. How many people out there, you live your life to other people's standards and to what you think, what you perceive, you think is good. You know, you think you look, I call it fake book, for instance. We're on Facebook, but a lot of the time it can be fake book. It's not, and this isn't a slur or a knock on all those kids who use, hello guys, who you see, they spend all their time doing fantastic videos, and that's a real skill. And it's something, it's good for promotion, it's good for story out there, but at the expense of, you don't live your own life. You're always about making sure you've got the best, hey Prash, making sure you've got the best camera angle, and it's not always real. I mean, obviously, listen, at the moment, I'm going to, so I've got a little, doesn't look great, a bit of a cold sore, and I'm trying to aim my face like this, because I want to look good, and understandably, I'm always thinking, as we're going live, we should look dapper, looking smart. But what I try to do with Prash on these videos is to be real. And I think it's good to look, obviously I can brush up and scrub up well, and Prash, you're looking very debonair and dapper tonight, young man. But Jim, I've been a bit bashed up, hence why I've got a mark here from being bashed up with rolling around on the floor with other men. I haven't prepared myself brilliantly like you would if I was going to be one of these young YouTubers. And like I said, I'm not knocking that, but so many people do live their life in comparison to other people. Totally. And I'm like, I do have to realise that also, if I'm going to go for a job interview, I'm not going to dress like this. I'm going to shave. I'm going to style my hair. I'm going to wear a nice shirt, maybe a bit of aftershave. I'm going to look the business and feel the business. You're not going to turn up. But then at the same time, I'm also going to be real. And I think these are the times where people are getting to see the real me and what I'm really about and what's really going on in my mind. And so, why is that? I think it's important that people can relax and know that beyond all the airs and graces, all the polish, all the icing on the cake, it's got a good filling. And this has got a good filling in here. And that's what I'm trying to get out. I'm probably not explaining myself fantastically, but what's your opinion, Master Prash?
I think we're talking about an epidemic, personally. I think we're talking about an epidemic because every one of us, especially in this very external civilization that we live in, is under pressure to look better, talk better, earn more, have bigger things, smell better, taste better, be smarter, and the list just goes on. And I think that additional pressure that society has put upon us is causing us to become a victim of the comparison disease. And what happens is, where comparison can actually be a positive thing, and there's a specific way for that, and I think I'm glad we're doing this as a two-part, because I think this really does require two parts, this live. What we're doing today to raise the issue and to, get a little bit of an understanding of the subject. And what we'll look at in the second part, Alex, is we could look at some of the solutions and strategies to start to overcome and deal with comparison. But before we can do that, you know the deal. Before you go and take on a fight with somebody, you're going to watch a bunch of videos and see how that person is. So this is what we're doing. We're getting to know our enemy in this life. That's why it's part one. We're getting to know our enemy. What is comparison? We want to understand it scientifically.
As you just said, I mean, for instance, if I'm going to, let's use the fight analogy. I'm going to go and fight Crusher Killer Smith in 6 weeks. I need to compare myself continually to other fighters in the gym who are like him. And I need to, otherwise I've got to build myself up, and I need to keep testing myself. And And there are times when you're going to need to do that. I mean, if you're a businessman selling a product, Coca-Cola or Pepsi, you're going to compare each other because they're two of the top brands.
Right.
But then the plan is ultimately to get so powerful, like become a Coca-Cola or Pepsi. It doesn't matter. All right, because you can have both, and that's the trick. Yeah, it's good. I think there's friendly ego. I totally agree. You need rivalry to maybe rivalry is the wrong word. A competition. There's healthy competition, which is going to make you grow. But then, there is the time when you're going to be like, hold on a minute, I'm not good enough. And you don't,
Absolutely.
and that can be so. There's heavy chains on you that you can't get out the starting blocks. You're not even going to get up.
Completely. And I think that's why and you kind of said it, when you compare yourself too much, you're ending up creating a pair of what and I'm sure some of you heard this, you're ending up creating a pair of golden handcuffs for yourself. Because now you're bound by the very comparison that you made, the very thing that was inspiring us, like the very thing that inspired me when I was a kid to become a city professional. I always aspired to be a high flyer in the city. Why? Because I saw people older than me, my older cousins, people around me. I'm Indian, right? Indians do this shit. I mean, we're born and trained from childhood to become a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, an engineer, or whatever it is. It's just in our tradition. So I was programmed from a young age, you got to be successful. That success means you've got to have a great job in the city as a high flyer and earn a certain amount of money or minimum. So that programming showed me the kind of people I should compare myself to. And by comparing myself to those people, I went upon a journey that took me into the corporate world. And I spent 25 years there. And during those 25 years, the comparison led me to have a pair of golden freaking handcuffs, because suddenly I was bound by the very thing that I was aspiring. I was attached to the outcome. I was attached to the money, the outcome, the prestige. When I didn't get thanks for my stuff, I was upset. When I lost the job, I was upset. Anything that was the freaking job defined my success, and therefore I became a victim of comparison and robbed me of joy. Because happiness didn't mean anymore. And like for you, right? I mean, happiness suddenly didn't mean coming home and seeing my family and they're smiling, or seeing my nieces and my nephews and they kind of did a cartoon. That doesn't make me happy anymore. It's about how much money I'm bringing in and how successful I am up the corporate ladder. Well, screw that shit for a laugh. It just ruled my life for so many years. I mean, I coach people on this now because I live this shit. And that's, which does my head in as well. Everybody wants to be a damn coach. Go and live the life. Go and suffer. Experience some real shit, and then come and teach people. Don't go and just say, I want to be a coach because somebody else has been. Nothing wrong with comparing yourself to the degree. I think, like, I compare myself when we were out in Hungary, right? And you were coaching us in some sparring.
Yeah.
I thought I'd love to be like Alex, the way he kind of moved, because the way you were moving with the animal moves when you did the boot camp type of stuff, it's amazing. And I thought I'd really love to be like Alex. I wish I could get a piece of that. So that kind of comparison, I feel, is healthy.
1,000,000%.
But for me to become,
listen, when I'm not feeling motivated, I'm strong enough to. I go to the gym. I go on Instagram, or what I call Facebook, and I look at these young hot studs, or not always young hot studs. Maybe people are older than me who are moving around. And how the hell can that guy do that? It's a kick up the arse. I don't spend hours and hours and hours thinking, oh my God, that's not. They're doing that and I can't do that. I'm thinking, right, okay, I want to summon that, but I learn that it's a powerful tool. You've got to know when to, like, if you overload yourself with comparison, you start doubting yourself. Oh, hang on a minute. But a bit of it is good. Do you know, that's great. I want to be like him. I want to be like her. I want to do that. I want some of that. And that's human nature. That's good. But it's a double-edged sword, because too much of it, you can, oh, hang on. I'm not even going to start. If I get in the, let's go back to fighting. If I'm going to get in the ring, that guy's he's going to hit me with his punch is so powerful. He's more flexible. He's younger. He's got more testosterone. He's been training longer. Oh no, I don't know. hang on, and you start talking to yourself, especially in the fight game. And the life, I like to use the fight game as a great metaphor for life, because we can always be in fights, and not necessarily physical fights, but fights with our loved one, with our spouse, with a business partner, with the competition. And it's learning how to use those metaphors. I mean, for me, it's easy. When I'm in a cage, there's another well-trained killer who wants to kill me, and I can focus. What's the best method for me to defeat this opponent? And you've just got to find the best methods to defeat the opponents in your everyday life. Sometimes,
Yeah. Oh, couldn't have said it. Yeah, beautifully said.
you still need to compare yourself to them. I've got to compare myself. Like I said, I mean, Pepsi and Coca-Cola, they don't really need to compare themselves to each other. But I do remember many years ago, there was the Pepsi challenge. Can you taste which one? And it was always about, they were loggerheads to try and, this was, God, blimey, I'm 44. So this was when I was around 10 years old. I don't know if you remember this.
I was right there with you, baby. I was there.
Now,
I was 14.
They really don't need to compare, because they're two such high quality brands that they've milked it. But there is a point when you're coming up the ladder. Imagine you're a new Coca-Cola, you're Tesco's Coca-Cola. I mean, that's probably a bad analogy, but do you get my point? You need to build yourself. Totally. Once you build yourself up enough, you don't need to you can exit the fight game, the metaphorical fight game of life. And you've done that by comparing yourself, but with a strategy. So comparison is okay as long as you've got a strategy. Right or wrong? What's your opinion?
I think comparison can be used as a positive tool if it's used in the right way. But the same tool can then become very destructive if you let comparison consume you. Comparison should serve us, and not and we shouldn't be consumed by comparison. And part of this dialogue right here, and you've just said it so eloquently, right? We need to be able to get better at letting comparison be our servant, not become slaves to it. And we'll look at strategies how to do that. But the very first thing we've got to do, and that's what this live is about, is beginning to recognize where comparison is actually limiting our progress rather than enhancing our progress. And I go back to this example, right? If I hadn't got well-established, highly educated, successful cousins when I was growing up at my university days, and when I was, in my late teens, in my early 20s, if I hadn't had those role models to compare, and that kind of comparison is more aspiring, right? That kind of comparison is more aspiring. And I thought, if I didn't have those guys to compare to and say, wow, they're making this much money, they're 10 years ahead, I want to be like that. If I didn't have that, I perhaps wouldn't have gone and had the successes that I had in the corporate world. But had I stayed in the corporate world and continued looking at what I don't have, well, shit, I'm bound by golden handcuffs, and suddenly I'm a miserable bastard to be around, And I think all of us can relate to being a miserable son of a bitch at some point in our life, and it's got nothing to do, or very little to do, with the loved ones around you. That's the thing. We blame other people around us, our loved ones, saying that it's their fault. We get ratty at them. We get grumpy at them. But actually, we're just projecting our inability to compete or achieve the thing that we're trying to artificially compare ourselves against. And we're projecting that shit back on the people we care about. I don't know what you think about that, man.
1,000,000%. You've just said it in eloquent, perfect terms.
Horrible, right? Why are you doing this to your loved ones? And then you got your partner or somebody who comes to you. Wait a minute, watch this, watch this. Then your loved one or your family or your friend, somebody who actually gives a shit about you, your friend, somebody, they kind of say, hey, dude, is everything all right? Because you become a little bit moody and grumpy lately. Somebody says something to catch you when you're being a jerk. And unfortunately, your ego or your pride or your pure blindness to that comparison prevents you from seeing that. And instead, you go and slap them in the face and you disregard it.
That's
and then
pride.
Guess what happens?
That's pride, isn't it? And it's
pride.
I was just talking about this today. Someone was talking about, I've been with Nicola, my lovely fiance, for 7+ years. I was giving an interview about a pantomime I'm doing. They actually brought up, what's the secret for us staying together? And it is actually, we always want, our pride, what makes us want to be right all the time. And being right doesn't necessarily make you happy. You can be very unhappy.
Yeah.
And being right isn't the best way, because I like to be proved wrong. And I know I'm
There.
slightly off topic, but
Right,
it's
yeah.
kind of in a similar vein. We compare ourselves to other people, and we want to be the best we possibly can. And we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to be wrong. And when I actually now try to celebrate being wrong, because I'm growing, it's very humbling. And that's the thing about comparing myself to someone else. I can compare myself to someone else, and sometimes,
Right.
I don't feel so great about myself. But then I because I love myself, truly love myself, I can, okay, Alex Reid, you're a good guy. Alexander Reid, Reedy, you're a great guy. You're a fantastic guy. Look, that guy's better at this, he's better at that, and he's better at that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But you're good in these places. Okay.
Right.
Let me try and build myself up. And I've gone back to Nicola. Why am I was talking about Nicola? Was we've learned I'm okay with being wrong, and that's the secret to me and Nicola being together, because we don't
That you're okay.
we don't try to be right all the time. And although we kind of slightly off topic, but the comparison is we're always trying to compare ourselves to other people, to be better, to be being better yourself in yourself. And it's probably not, you're not explaining this right. Because we want to be better ourselves, we want to be right. And if you're always right, you're not always going to be happy.
No, I think that's absolutely true. You're not always going to be, and I think it is about you against you, right? It's the I know you love Rocky, and I know you particularly love Rocky 4. And if you remember, there's a song by Survivor, the same band who did Eye of the Tiger for Rocky 3. In Rocky 4, they did the song called Burning Heart. In the burning heart comes the fire, right? And in that song, he says, and in the burning heart, the battle rages higher. And in the verse, he says, in the glorious heart, there's no surrender, 'cause it's you against you, right? It's you against you in that song, Survive. Right? It's you against you. It's what you just said. It's not about you against somebody else. It's you against you. And that's so in the warrior's heart, there's no surrender, because it's you against you. And it's the triumph that, whatever those words are.
Can anyone
me.
Watching this, if you've got a second, could you Google that on YouTube and someone put the link on it? I want to, in the burning heart, the Rocky.
I'm gonna get this, man. I got this.
Rocky 4, because we love Rocky sayings.
Wait a minute. I got this. I'm gonna love this. Wait a minute. 1 minute. Let me get this. 1 second. Hang on. Oh man, I'm gonna love this. Here we go. Yeah, right here.
Amazing. I used to love that. That was so inspirational as me as a young man growing up. And isn't that, wasn't he clever? And that was someone I did compare myself to and wanted to be better all the time, And it's like I said, I sound convoluted how I'm trying to explain this. You want to be better. You want to improve yourself. There we go.
Wait. In the darkest night, rising like a spire, in the burning heart, the unmistakable fire. Here it comes. Here it comes. In the warrior's code, there's no surrender. Though his body stays stark, his spirit cries, never deep in our soul, the quiet. No, it's you against you. It's the paradox that drives the song. It's the battle of wills in the heat of attack. It's the passion that kills. The victory is yours alone. Come on, Alex. In the burning heart, just about to burst. There's a quest for answers and I quench up the thirst. In the darkest night, in the darkest, rising like a fire, rising like a fire. In the burning heart, the unmistakable fire. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
I can see him fighting Ivan Drago now, training in Russia.
Come on.
And that was I used to always compare myself to Rocky. And that was a good association. I wanted to be so like.
What's my age again? How old am I again? 48. I still love that shit, man. And I know you do too, man. You get me going, man. You get me going, man.
It was something magical about Rocky. It still is.
Yeah, but there's so much wisdom, right? You know, it's not about. What's your favorite one?
That one. That's that one.
Say
Rocky
that one.
4. Rocky 4. You gotta love Rocky 4.
It's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how.
Yeah.
Come on, tell him, man. Tell him, Alex. Tell him.
Rocky 4.
Man, listen. You know what? I mean, sorry, guys. I think I just got carried away because Alex hit it. He said it so beautifully, right? Because it's you against you. Listen, guys, you're watching this. Let's all wake up and smell the coffee. It never was about you and that chick who's a size 8 and you're a size 12. It never was about the guy who's got bloody 6-packs abs and you're suffering because you got a overweight body fat level. It wasn't about that. It was about what's here and how you can evolve yourself. The biggest battle that we can win is the battle with the mind and the self. Mastering the self is the most valuable gift. Confucius said it. Emerson said it. Thoreau said it. The Buddha said it. People thousands of years ago said it. But every mother is caught up for this. They want this, and they want the sex, they want the drugs, they want the food, they want the car, they want this. Did I say those things are bad? I didn't say those things are bad, but to be obsessed by that motherfucker at the detriment of your own mental and spiritual health, right? What sacrifice, you know, what profiteth a man? What did Jesus say? What profiteth a man if he gains the world but suffers the loss of his eternal spirit? Jesus, damn.
Yeah.
Alex, man, I'm getting head up because this shit ruled my life for 25 to 30 years. All the guys who got the better looking chicks than me, I thought maybe I'm not the good looking guy and now I need to be good. So I'm a miserable bastard because I don't think I'm good looking enough. What the fuck? So many years wasted in this shit when actually...
Do you ever, in all your spirituality, in all your wisdom, in all your experience, do you ever... Hey, Jazz. I go to church with Jazz. How you doing, mate? Do you ever
up, Jazz?
have doubts? Do you ever have doubts yourself? Think,
yeah.
Do you ever get like, do you ever feel low in that respect? Do you look at other people and think, I wouldn't mind them?
Yeah, very much so.
Is that? I mean,
I do.
In how I do, and I'm like, I check myself. Hang on, mate. I'm talking to myself. Reid, come on, you're a good guy.
Can I just say that is one of the that right there, and maybe we'll kind of let's save this for part 2 of this. That right there is a beautiful tool that we can all learn to use. That is positive self-talk. What you just said there. Come on, Alex. You don't need to. What you just said there, right there. That's the thing right there. You see, here's the thing. We're mostly running everybody has self-talk, right? Everybody does. You know, and it's called the inner critic. When I coach people about it, you know, I have to deal with loads of people's inner critics. I mean, I got somebody who's a successful CEO and he's living halfway around the world. I'm coaching him online right now. The guy's inner critic's driving him crazy because his wife told him he's a useless piece of shit who isn't going to do anything. And she just spends all his money and calls him a loser because he's not exactly aesthetically pleasing, and he's balding and he's overweight, but he's actually a really good soul, right? He's caring. But that negative self-talk is going on. And it's what you just said there. That's one of the most powerful antidotes, is to turn that around into positive self-talk. And part of that is saying, hang on, really? You've done a lot in your life. You've taken 300 fights, more than 300 fights. You've worked with the best of them. You've fought with the best of them. You've trained harder than other people. So who is it really about? Is it about all of that out there, or is it about you and the people who actually give a damn about you? You know.
My point is though, Prash, in all of my experience and all of the hards and the trials and tribulations I've been through, is I haven't got a bat think shield of steel where your bullets cannot harm me. I still get the metaphorical bullets, and then sometimes they come through,
Right.
and they hurt. And as I keep saying it, nothing hits you as hard as life, as Rocky's saying again. Life can be so hard, and it's not always. If I am numb to that, and I do have a force field to stop any negative crap coming in, I'm not real. I mean, because life is always going to be painful. We're always going to be affected by the horrible things, atrocities. There's so many atrocities that are happening on this planet as we speak. Forget about in other countries, in our own country, in our own families, in the sad things we say to each other. Now, as much as I get really sad. And I do the positive self-talk. Is when you're feeling so sad that is so hard, but I built in a fail-safe mechanism to like, Reid, you will never get up. Even and almost comedic. It's like almost I don't know if it's the army humor. I don't know if it's my soul or my spirit, which is saying, look, never give up, because I felt so low, so suicidal.
Right.
I wanted to like just end it on, and there's a little bit inside me that just says, shut up, Reid. I don't know where that's coming from. Because some people don't have that. And maybe I mean, I've done lots of meditation, I've done lots of spiritual work, I've talked to my creator, and I have purpose and faith. My purpose and faith has what stopped me from, I know we've gone off slight topic about comparisons here, but we'll get back onto that in a second. My purpose and faith has stopped me from being so low. I'm like, Reid, you might go and kill yourself, but how's that going to help the rest of the planet? How's that going to help? Forget the rest of the planet, all these people in your life. How's that going to help you? You're a good guy, Reid. And it's crazy as it is, you start talking to yourself like this. I'm like, this is what's got me from the lowest, darkest places to get myself back up. I'm like, Reid, you got stuff to do. You're a good guy. You can't just give up. And what helps me is I believe in this spiritual. I'm getting woo-woo here. In this, as a spiritual being living a physical existence in this physical body, I believe I have a soul. I don't know. Just if you don't believe in that, just indulge me for a minute, guys and girls. In this physical body, once I disappear as Alex Reid, if I die, I get burnt, I rot in the ground, whatever. My soul, the essence of who I really am, I believe goes somewhere and comes back. If I have more lessons to do in this physical incarnation called planet Earth, in this reality, and I believe it's reincarnation, and I believe I one day will attain a higher level, and I hope that is the next one, because I'm kind of getting very woo here. I'm not trying to scare people, going a bit heavy. That is the thing that stops me from wanting to kill myself or actually doing it, because I'm like, mate, you're just going to come back and do it again. Why do I want to?
Beautifully said.
If I'm going to get out, I'm going to come back and do it again. And this all started from comparisons. You could compare yourself. I've had so much pain and misery, and I look at other people and hang on, that's not right. And you get so low, so down the road. You're like, why is my life so shit? And hang on, then like, in a positive way, I man up, because I said, well, Reid, look at what you got to be grateful for. You're not in a war. You're not a suffering paedophilia, famine, plague, some debilitating disease. Yeah, you've got sadness, but there's always someone worse off, and that comparison is a positive comparison. Pick me back up. And there was silence.
No, I agree. I'm just fascinated that I'm hearing this, because
so I talked a lot there. I mean, comparisons, basically. We're talking about comparisons today, for those of you who just joined us. And I've waffled a bit because I'm trying to, there's some very tough subjects. And I started
Yeah.
for those who didn't join us at the beginning, I started off. I don't feel fabulously, stunningly good looking today. I've got bashed in training today, and I was thinking maybe I should make myself look more stunning and gorgeous and dapper for Facebook, because you know you want your lovely audience to make you look. You want to look great, but I want to be real. Real is the. And sometimes I don't explain things fabulously, but I try to get my essence out through my soul. God, that's very hippie.
Oh, I think that's beautiful, man, because and don't even apologize, right? And you never have to apologize. If there's one thing that I think all of us who are well-wishers, friends, followers, and just people who admire you, if there's one thing that will be written on your eulogy, my friend, is that Alex spoke his heart and lived by his heart. Even if it made other people unhappy, even if it wasn't perfect, it was you and it was authentically you. And you know, it reminds me of another great song. Oh man, it's all about the songs today, man. Oh man. Okay, Alex, this one, right? Wait a minute. Can I give it to you? Yeah? Can I give it to you? Hang on.
Go for it.
It's coming to this. Oh man, I tell you what, there are so many lessons in lyrics. And you know, you cannot underestimate the value of listening to stuff, because everybody's listening to BS stuff that you can listen to, but empowering songs. Here, listen. Hang on. Let's see if it's coming. Here we go. Okay, you know what it's coming?
Alien.
I don't take coffee in my tea, my dear. I look my toast on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Now, the reason why I'm playing this song is listen to what he says right in the heart of the song, the belly of that song. Nomad, right there. Listen to that. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Come on, Alex, be yourself, no matter what they say. Come on, Alex. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
Be yourself.
Right there, man. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Sting said it right there all those years ago when you and I were probably 10 and 14.
Yeah.
Be yourself no matter what they say. That is one of the best antidotes to comparison. Just be yourself, right? And aspire great. Go and aspire to be something, be beautiful, be a better father, be a better lover, be a better husband, a better son, right? Aspire, that's great. But to become a slave to comparison and steal your joy, Jesus, come on. Let's wake up and smell the coffee, man. Alex, I'm ranting now. This is
no, it's good. I'm liking what you're saying, and I'm not saying as much. I'm taking it all in. I mean, I'm here to
because this is you every day, man.
I'm here to talk more, but I'm actually really enjoying what you're saying. I think we've talked quite a lot. I think let's save it. What are we going to do tomorrow? It's what's going on tonight, guys? Do you know what's going on? Have you looked outside?
Yeah. Anyone want to take a guess as to why today and or tomorrow are special? Pop something in the comments if you know what we're talking about here.
Who knows? Let's have a look.
Marcus, I haven't forgotten you, man. We will go and check out the link. I'm just kind of mindful of time. Tony, welcome. All right, so we're going to just say it. So today is 11/11, and those of you who are spiritually, psychically inclined out there, some of you will appreciate the significance of 11/11, and not just numerologically, but with the energy. And by energy, I mean the power of nature's energy and consciousness energy, which is magnified around this time. And Penny, thanks for chiming in. She just mentioned retrograde. Yes, we're in a retrograde as well astrologically. Marcus just chimed in 11:11. Absolutely. And so we've got several powerful events happening out there, which and these external events have an internal impact to us if we're wise enough, or at least open-minded enough or sensitive enough to appreciate them. One is the 11:11, the other is retrograde, and the third aspect is it's a full moon, of course, coming on us, and it's a very powerful full moon. It's a moon in retrograde, and so there's a lot of energy out there, and that energy can be damaging for people who aren't able to harness it, and that's why you see a lot of people with their emotions all over the shop. And then it can also be very healing if it's harnessed, pretty much like anything, right, Alex? I mean, you know this because you've done weapons-based training as well, in the army. The army a knife can help to save somebody surgically, and the same knife can be used to kill somebody. So but it's the knife, it's how we harness that weapon in front of us. So consider that the energies that are there over the past 24 hours and the next 24 hours are very powerful, and we can harness them for something good. And I guess, Alex, tomorrow, if it's okay with you, I thought we would indulge people in a little bit of urban spirituality and welcome people of any faith, all faith, and no faith whatsoever, equally welcome to come along and join us for a little bit of a guided meditation, a full moon guided meditation. And we'll do it at night so we can calm everybody's energies down. And if you like, Alex, we can do a little bit of powerful visualization, like I do with, in some of the coaching work that I do with people. It's one of the things I love.
Let's get people to taste of what we do, guys. Let's do
that. I think that's a little bit different as well for people. That's okay with you.
We do lots of guided meditations. I personally do more kind of moving meditations in the sense of, let's look at Mr. Miyagi when he used to do wax on, wax off with Danielson. It's a very monotonous task to train him to do a specific martial arts move, but it's also a fabulous form of meditation. And for instance, when I was just doing my pantomime a couple of weeks ago, and people are saying to me, don't you get bored of doing the same 3 shows in one day? Don't you get bored of doing the same pantomime? It's actually no, because it's like meditation. It's like moving meditation. So that's how I incorporate meditation into my, and we also have, to my work, we also have mantra therapy, which is a very ancient science on how you repeat a mantra and it calms your mind down and it blows your body into deep parasympathetic nervous system, which is really great calming, by just chanting the same sayings once over and over again. It's a fabulous science. Certain sounds have certain sciences around them. I'm going to say magic, but it's actually science. To be able to
beautiful
to draw out certain qualities.
Yeah, it has, and we'll use the power mantra to do that. And this is applicable for everyone. This is something that can harness our lives. So if you're open-minded enough and open-hearted enough to experience something that will take you from the physical to the metaphysical realms, and also help you to tap into the power of your subconscious and heal you inside, because don't forget, we are an iceberg. We're walking icebergs. Get this. 80 to 90% of our behavior, decisions, direction in life is governed by our subconscious. Only 10 to 15% is conscious. If we can get our heads around this shocking revelation, then we can start to harness the power of our subconscious to make it work for us, rather than it running on autopilot and dictating the direction of our life because of past conditioning and past impressions upon which we're running our lives, or rather are running our lives. They're running our lives for us. And that's what we'll start to do tomorrow by tapping into the subconscious.
Guys, what if you want us tomorrow? We're going to do we actually do some mantra therapy.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of mantra in there, and we'll combine it with some guided meditation, and we'll harness that full moon energy a little bit. Everybody can have a benefit.
So there's a proper hippie and woo-woo tomorrow,
I think
If,
that's,
if
yeah,
you're
we
up
should, I
for
think,
it,
Penn,
try and find somewhere where you're not going to get disturbed or people are going to take
yeah,
the mickey. There's going to be a lot of us doing some woo-woo stuff. You're going to feel it after a
be some fun.
while. You start doing chanting for so long. You it's fabulous. You start actually feeling more peace, more serene. It's a fabulous form of meditation because you're just continually thinking of the same chant, and you just got to do it. But when I first
I
did it, I
think,
thought, this is left and right brain. This is crazy. What I'm doing? I'm an idiot. This is silly. This is silly. And then after about 5 minutes, like, hold on a minute. This is like, it's nice.
the mind calms.
This is nice. I need
Yeah,
to do more of it. We need to do even just a few minutes a day. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it'll be great. I know Penny, Marcus, Romeo, Santiago, and many other respected friends and well wishers, Alex, who regularly tune in. Sankis Henry. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to appreciate this tomorrow. It's going to be great. We'll add in a little bit of mantra. We'll do some guided meditation. And we'll have some music. And everybody, one request: if you're going to join us tomorrow, please try to bring a pair of headphones with you, because I'm going to play a soundtrack in the background, and we want this to go close to your ears here. We want the sound coupled with the mantra to be able to have its effect more pronouncedly inside us. So bring a pair of headphones if you can, and or we'll have some fun tomorrow. Alex, you're going to look even younger than your handsome, dapper self at the moment. So you're going to be good. For a guy who's barely getting any sleep right now, doing 3 pantos a day, plus I know you got all the other stuff going on, you ain't bad. I got to tell you that. You ain't bad.
Thank you, young man. I think we shall bid you adieu, guys and gals, and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
And we'll do a part 2 of the comparison and bring together Alex's resilient power tactics and some of my urban spirituality coaching stuff. And we'll do a 2-for-1 power
Look
hit
forward to seeing. If you've got any
very
questions,
soon.
please
Stay
ask
tuned for
us.
that.
So leave some messages if you've got any questions for tomorrow, and we'd like to answer them. Guys and
Be a
girls,
pleasure.
we're going to bid you adieu. We'll see you tomorrow about the same time. See you later, guys.
Namaste. Peace out.
Peace.